30th Manipuri Language Day was observed all over Assam, Manipur and Tripura. Maria Begum scripts history to have become the first flying officer in Indian Air Force among the Manipuri Muslim community of the Northeast. Final year classes of 10 and above to reopen from September 1. State government will operate alternative fuel buses in Guwahati city shortly. Manipuri language likely to be included as a classical language of India. Deficient rainfall in 12 districts of Assam reported. Northeast is cancer capital of India, finds government study. Union Minister Kulaste inspects Manipur projects. Taliban announces amnesty and urges women to join the government. And 10 women footballers from Manipur invited to national camp. Hello everyone, you're watching Emoinu Live. This is Anjali Wahingbam giving you the bulletin of the week. Before giving you the news in details, Emoinu Live makes an appeal to all the viewers to observe carefully the SOPs given by the administration to contain the spread of COVID-19 pandemic. Let masks be used at all social gatherings. Let social distancing of 6 feet be maintained between 2 persons. Let hands be washed and sanitized frequently. Let all persons above the age of 18 be vaccinated. Now the news in details. On Friday, August 20, 30th Manipuri Language Day was observed at different Manipuri settlements in Assam, Manipur and Tripura. The day is observed by the Manipuris for inclusion of Manipuri language in the 8th schedule of the Indian Constitution. In Brahmaputra Valley, it was observed at Nandapur Chariali ME School Hojai by Manipuri Sahitya Parishad, Nandapur branch along with cultural programs. In the capital city Agartala, Tripura, the day was observed at Jugol Kishop Mandir. Professor Moirangthem Anupama and Khetri Mayum Jiten Singh attended the occasion as chief guest and guest of honor respectively. In Barak Valley, Naharol Khorilol Silub, Lakhipur, Assam Manipuri Sahitya Parishad, Lakhipur District Committee and All Assam Manipuri Students' Union, Lakhipur District Committee jointly organized the occasion with cultural programs. At Bantarapur, Assam Manipuri Sahitya Parishad, Bantarapur branch observed the day along with the people of the locality. Maria Begum of Tampak Mayum under the Lakhipur subdivision of Kasar district has been selected to the post of flying officer in Indian Air Force recently. She has become the first to have achieved such a lucrative post of flying officer in the Indian Air Force among the Manipuri Muslim community of the Northeast. Born on 5th October in the year 1995 to Abdul Halim Chaudhary and Hejabun Nessa, different organizations including All Assam Manipuri Students Union have congratulated Maria Begum on her being selected as flying officer. The Emoinu News Live's chief advisor Dr. Thokcham Babachandra has also applauded the great achievement of Maria and prayed to the Almighty for future professional advancement and serve the nation with great honor. And here's an interaction between Maria and our Emoinu correspondent.
Hello everyone. My name is Maria Begum. I'm a resident of Shibpur village of Lakhipur constituency. And my father's name is Abdul Halim Chaudhary and mother's name is Hejabun Nesha. And that's right.
Please tell us something just about your education career and any profession that you have owned before that you see.
First of all, I started my early education from Emoinu English High Secondary School, where I started from nursery to class 5. Later, I appeared for the JNBST exam, and then I went for class 6 to class 12 in Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Kachar, and then I did my graduation, that is BSc in Physics Honours from Gurucharan College, Silchar, Later, I completed my masters from Assam University, Silchar, under physics department.
Nice,
And
yeah.
after my completion of this masters, I got an opportunity to serve as PGT physics, that is postgraduate teacher, in Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Karimganj, for a session 2019 to 20.
Thank you, yeah. Next, I mean that you see, what's make you inspired to select this post? I mean that you see.
So, what actually inspired me to select this post, if I say individually, then it will take a bit of turns, because it will take a bit of turns because it has been my dream earlier from since childhood that I wanted to become a pilot. But then that time I was not destined, or I was not having that full path that I should have to follow, because I didn't have that proper guidance. But then when I joined NCC, so NCC actually curved a path for me to join the defense forces.
No. One interaction, please. I mean that you see here. The NCC, that means what just you own just from the NCC, any certificate and all, I mean that you see.
Yes, sir. So I joined NCC in 2006, that is 2015, yes, 2015, and I completed for my NCCC certificate.
Okay.
So and I went for some best cadet also under our district. And what I achieved from NCC is I learned about self-discipline. I learned about unity, about staying together, and all this forged lifestyle that has to be followed. So this and all inspired me a lot to follow up my dream a bit more and to motivate me further.
Lastly, Maria, where you will have training and from which month that it will be started?
Yes, sir. I'll have my training in Air Force Academy, Indian Air Force Academy, that is in Dundigal, Hyderabad, and it will be started from, I'll have my joining from 5th of September.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So lastly, thank you very much for your valuable time to sparing for us.
It's my
And
pleasure,
just from the
sir.
Emoinu, I mean the Emoinu TV network, I mean we wish you all the best and for your best career. Thank you so much once
Thank you
again.
so much, sir. It's my pleasure.
The State Education Department has decided to open the final year classes of Class 10 and above from September 1. A decision on opening the lower classes will be taken after an assessment of the first phase of reopening. State Education Minister Dr. Ranoj Pegu, addressing the media here on Tuesday, said that once the decision regarding the resumption of final year classes of Class 10 and above get Cabinet approval, necessary measures would be initiated. The minister also said that the government was taking measures to address the issue of seat crisis in higher secondary and degree courses. To address this, the government has allowed private high schools to start class 11, increase the number of seats in academic institution, and very soon many of our well-performing high schools will be upgraded to higher secondary schools, he added. The Assam Chief Minister Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma released a 100 Days Governance Report booklet, namely Aniruddha Yatrar Ekhodin at Guwahati on Friday, August 20 last. He was joined by AGP President Atul Bora and WPPL Chief Pramod Boro in the releasing ceremony. As a global campaign to reduce carbon emission, the state government will procure 200 electric buses and 100 CNG buses. These buses will be pressed into service in Guwahati city. Inter-district transport, which remained suspended for several weeks due to COVID pandemic, is now expected to resume its service from September 1 next. The Chief Minister announced that the government will provide one-time grant of Rs 10,000 to all COVID-hit inter-district bus drivers and handymen. Around 60,000 people are expected to be benefited by the scheme. A similar one-time grant of Rs 15,000 will also be provided to temple priests and namkaryas of the state. The Chief Minister further informed in the press conference on the occasion of the completion of 100 days of his government that the state government will start implementing the provisions of the National Education Policy from April next year. Under this policy, all high schools will be upgraded to senior secondary schools and junior colleges will have class 9 and 10 in them. A branch office along with an outlet center of Emoinu Private Limited was inaugurated on Friday, August 20 at Chingyalekai, Fulatol. It was opened with a cutting of ribbon by the company's managing director, Longjam Babasana Singh. The occasion was attended by officials and members of different branches located in Barak Valley. He also introduced new products of the company and different plans of the company to come up in near future to the August gathering of the day. He also did not forget to mention that this company is the only organization of the Manipuri community in Assam.
मानरेगा अखोई के चाकू की पोट अखोई के लघु की पोट अखोई के चिंजा येंसंग सी सिंगसिदको पृथ्वी सिदामुतनी मंगान पुथोको इमोइन माइ प्लेट पुथोको नुंगाइ मसंगे सिगी दमकता कंप्लेन हाइबदी कोइ लौजरोय सजेशन तौरोको कंप्लेन द साउनी बा की सिगी ना पियन ला थामे तौरोका बा तौरोका नुंगाइ मसंगे कोइसी कोया बियाइ को.
On the occasion of the 30th Manipuri Language Day held at Imphal, Rajya Sabha MP as well as titular King of Manipur, Lesemba Sanajauba, said that the centre agrees in principle to include Manipuri language as one of the classical languages of India with the usage of Manipuri script in Indian coins and notes. He proposed the central government to include the language in the Indian classical language during the parliament session on September 22, 2020. At present, there are 6 classical languages in India, and if Manipuri language is taken for consideration, then it will be the classical language of India, he added. Thus, Lesemba Sanajauba has appealed to the government and other civil society organizations to unitedly work together and pursue the centre in this regard. In Assam, altogether 12 districts have reported deficient rainfall in the last 2.5 months of the monsoon season. As per report of the Indian Meteorological Department, the other 15 districts have reported normal rainfall. Since June 1, the state has received 829.2 mm rainfall against the normal of 1044.7 mm, which is 21% less than normal. Bongaigaon has recorded -54% rainfall, while Morigaon and Dhubri have recorded -49% monsoon rainfall till August 18. The other major deficient districts are Darang -43, Nagaon -45, NC Hills -42 and Kamrup Metro -35. Dibrugarh and Tinsukia have also reported deficient rainfall activity. The Indian Meteorological Department had predicted a normal monsoon in most parts of the country. According to its reports, the 2021 southwest monsoon is expected to be normal at 101% of the long period average. But in the northeast, it was expected to be less than 95%. Arunachal Pradesh's Papumpari districts and Aizawl in Mizoram recorded the highest incidence of new cancer cases in the country among females and males respectively, as per a government report. The report released by the Indian Council of Medical Research and National Center for Disease Informatics and Research stated that Papumpari district has 219.8 per 1 lakh cancer cases among females. Mizoram's capital Aizawl has 269.4 per 1 lakh cases among males, it said. The estimated number of cancer cases in the northeast in 2020 was 50,317, among whom 27,503 were males and 22,814 females, the report said. Esophagus cancer was most prevalent in the region with cases 5,785 last year, it said. Esophagus cancer will continue to be most prevalent in the northeast till at least 2025, the report predicted. Breast and lung cancer are the next most common types of cancer found in the northeast, as per the report. Across northeast, esophagus cancer is the highest among males, followed by lung cancer and stomach cancer. Among females, the breast is the leading cancer site, followed by cervix, uteri and gallbladder, the report said. The 75th birth anniversary of late Nongthombam Mangol Singh of Hojai Amtola was held on Tuesday, August 17 last, with simple ceremony. He was born in the year 1947 at Hojai Amtola. During a short lifespan, late Mangol Singh pursued tremendous efforts to improve the lot of the Manipuri society. Our Hojai correspondent Samurai Lakpam Hemanta Kumar Sharma has informed us that Mangol Singh had a leading role in the establishment of Ima Lairembi Loop and Apunba Poramlem Marup at Hojai. He had also contributed social and cultural activities which have included, among others, the Manipuri dramas, Nangi Poloidi Asira, Tekhao Lamdam, etc. Stressing an irreparable loss of the society, the local people, including family members, paid floral tributes to the late social activist of Hojai. Union Minister of State for Still and Rural Development Phagan Kulaste inspected on August 17 various projects being undertaken under the Shyama Prasad Mukherjee Urban Mission in Manipur. The Union Minister was accompanied by the State Rural Development and Panchayati Raj Minister and officials of the department connected during the inspection tour. The team inspected overhead water tanks at the Khangabok Water Supply Scheme and Sangayumpham Water Supply Scheme at Khangabok Cluster, Thawal District, and upgrade of Tentha GP to Primary Health Center. Kulaste also attended an interaction programmed with members of various self-help groups at the Ibudhau Thongju Lakpa Community Hall. Briefing media persons after the interaction, the Union Minister said that Manipur has a large number of self-help groups which will facilitate employment in the state. The growth of self-help groups is a big achievement for the country, especially for women, Kulaste said. Later, he also interacted with state officials. Deputy Secretary of RD and PR, Lalrubul Fimate, highlighted the progress and status of various schemes undertaken by the department. The Taliban declared amnesty across Afghanistan and urged women to join their government on Wednesday, the 17th August 2021. This was an attempt to convince very population after deadly chaos gripped the main airport as desperate crowds tried to flee their rule. When many cities in Afghanistan fall in the hands of insurgents without a fight, Taliban have sought to portray them as more moderate than their brutal rule imposed in the late 1990s. But many Afghans remain skeptical. Older generations still remember the ultra-conservative Islamic views, which included severe restrictions on women as well as stoning, amputations, and public executions before US-led invasion ousted them following the terror attacks of September 11, 2001. Many women have expressed dread that a two-decade Western experiment to expand their rights in Afghanistan would not survive the resurgent Taliban. Meanwhile, Germany halted development aid to Afghanistan after the Taliban takeover. Such aid is a crucial source of funding for the country. Taliban's efforts to project a milder version of themselves may be aimed at ensuring that money continues to flow. The promises of amnesty from Inamullah Samamgani, a member of the Taliban's Cultural Commission, were the first comments on how the Taliban might govern on a national level. The Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan has announced a complete amnesty for all Afghanistan, especially those who were the opposition or supported the occupiers for years. Other Taliban leaders have said that they won't seek revenge on those who worked with Afghan government or foreign countries. But some in Kabul allege that Taliban fighters have lists of people who cooperated with the government and are seeking them out. Samangani also described women as the main victims of more than 40 years of crisis in Afghanistan. The Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan does not want the women to be victims anymore. Now, the country is ready to provide women with environment to work and study and the presence of women in different government structures according to Islamic law. Samangani did not describe what he meant by Islamic law. Pakistani human smugglers operating in areas bordering Afghanistan are making money as thousands of Afghans try to exit their country by clandestine means following the fall of Kabul to the Taliban. Thousands of Afghans are fleeing Afghanistan to escape the new regime and seek asylum in different nations, including the US and many European nations, in quest of a better living environment. Business has been booming even before the Taliban entered Kabul. Hamid Gul, who operates from a small town near the Chaman Spin Boldak border with Afghanistan, told to PTI over telephone that they have smuggled in around 1,000 people from across the border since last week. He was reluctant to divulge how much they charge for smuggling the Afghani people into Pakistan. He was only the person to speak to this correspondent. He also confirmed that there were others like him operating from near borders. The Afghan people are afraid of what will happen to them under the Taliban rule, and they want to get out of Afghanistan in whatever way possible, and for that they are willing to pay whatever be the charge to smuggle them into Pakistan. Dr. Shah Muhammad Mari, who runs a literary magazine in Quetta, said that smuggling of Afghans have been taking place even before the Taliban takeover of Kabul. He is of the opinion that this year alone, some 55,000 Afghans have already entered Pakistan via Balochistan, mostly children and women. Orissa Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik on August 17 announced that the state will continue to sponsor the Indian hockey teams for another 10 years. Making the announcement of a felicitation ceremony of the hockey teams in Bhubaneswar, Patnaik said this will herald a new era of Indian hockey and bring back the glory to the nation. Each player was awarded Rs 10 lakh and each support staff Rs 5 lakh by the state government. After Sahara's sponsorship to Indian hockey ended, Orissa Mining Corporation came forward to sponsor national teams, men, women, junior, senior in 2018. The sponsorship support was Rs 140 crore over a 5-year period. On the other hand, direct selling company Amway India has signed Olympic weightlifting silver medalist Saikom Mirabai Chanu as the brand ambassador for Amway and its Neutralite range of products. Under the partnership, Chanu will spearhead the company's campaigns focused on its foundations range such as Neutralite Daily, Omega and All Plant Protein, among others across platforms, and Amway India media statement said. 10 women footballers from Manipur have been selected to attend the national team camp at Jamshedpur, which has already started from 16th August Monday. This camp is being organized to prepare AFC Women's Asian Cup 2022, which will be held from January 20 to February 6 next year in India. The selected women footballers from Manipur are Maibam Linthoinganbi Devi, goalkeeper, Ngangbam Sweetie Devi, Hemam Shilki Devi, Ranjana Chanu Sorokhaibam, Wangkhem Linthoinganbi Devi, Kritina Devi Thaunaujam, and Asem Roja Devi, Dangmai Grace, Hegrujam Daya Devi. Another player from Manipur, Loitongbam Asalata Devi, who presently represents Indian Railway, has also been selected for the national team as per All Manipur Football Association sources. Manipur Chief Minister N. Biren Singh, a footballer turned politician, said it is a proud moment. He mentioned about the selection of these footballers while delivering his speech during the Independence Day celebration in Imphal. According to All India Football Federation report, 2022 will be a huge year for women's football in India as the country will be hosting the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup from October 11 to 30, 2022. The FIFA Council had made an announcement in this regard on May 20, 2021 as per report. Before we wrap up, let's take a look at the headlines once again. 30th Manipuri Language Day was observed all over Assam, Manipur and Tripura. Maria Begum scripts history to have become the first flying officer in Indian Air Force among the Manipuri Muslim community of the Northeast. Final year classes of 10 and above to reopen from September 1. State government will operate alternative fuel buses in Guwahati city shortly. Manipuri language likely to be included as a classical language of India. Deficient rainfall in 12 districts of Assam reported. Northeast is cancer capital of India, finds government study. Union Minister Kulaste inspects Manipur projects. Taliban announces amnesty and urges women to join the government. And 10 women footballers from Manipur invited to national camp. That's the end of the news. Thank you for watching Emoinu Live.